hour.
Jerry.
An hour.
Has joined the meeting.
Available. So I'm going to go ahead and start this meeting. Generally speaking, in all of the meetings associated with the Ledge Group, what we do is a call to order. We follow Robert's Rules of Order in our meetings. And so I called the meeting at 6/7/2017 at 6:09 p.m. between the Ledge Group and all non-legends. And so I welcome you all to the meeting. And my thinking is I'm going to do this weekly. And what that does is it gives you greater access to me, right? At the end of the day, you all know I'm in meetings. Like I said, we got an hour here because when I get off of this one, I'm going into 2 more, right? And I'm up dealing with people in Nigeria in the middle of the night. I'm up, if you can see the bags under my eyes, it looks like Billy Joel. I'm always up working. And that's because international commerce requires that. And so, but with that in mind, my guess is there's a lot of questions that are building up. There are a lot of things that people don't know as it relates to kind of what we're doing, the direction that we're going in. And so for that reason, what I determine is weekly, I'm going to make an hour available to kind of come in and address you all individually, personally, and let you all ask anything that you wanted to ask about, you know, what the ledge is and what we're doing, all right? So with that in mind, if we've got to have some level of order. I'd like you to go one at a time if you could. You can also put questions into the chat. Oh, you can't chat if you're on the phone. So what you can do is you can go ahead and one at a time ask any questions that you might have relative to what we're doing.
Okay.
Lorraine.
And announce your name, if you would, before you ask your question.
Has joined the meeting.
So,
this is Jay Solomon in Houston.
Yes, sir.
So my main question was just kind of reflecting back on some of the initial conversation.
Has joined the meeting.
I was under the impression that in lieu of the $400 donation, if you had land, that was kind of an equal exchange, if you will. Is that not on the table anymore, or what's up with that?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. It's a potential. And so where that land comes into play is really, again, the same kind of thing that we're doing in Kenya, which is what can we do on that land? What are you interested in having done on that land? And then based on that, what kind of facility can we put in place? So what the land option is always, you know, again, this is what has us where we are in Kenya. This is what has us in North Carolina, California, all over the world, really, is partnering with people that have land because, again, that's the very best scenario. We don't, at the end of the day, so now the ledge owns land in Kenya. But outside of that scenario, we don't want to own land. That's your land. What we want to do is we want to partner with you, determine the best crops that we can grow where you are, help you with that, get training with that if you need to, and put facility in place whereby we can process that into a given product. At the end of the day, the person that's going to process or that will work on that, let's not get it twisted, it'll be you, right? I'm not going to move to your land. So when we put facility on your land, that is your business, okay? That becomes your business. You staff it, you work it, you make it profitable. That's it.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, that was my understanding going into it, you know?
Yep.
So that's good. That's still viable. Peter, do you have a sense in that respect? Do you have a sense of like how much land you need ideally?
How much land is needed ideally?
Let's say I wanted to go the bamboo
has
route
joined the meeting.
first, you know?
Say again?
Let's say I wanted to go the bamboo route first.
Yeah.
How much land would I really need to, you know, maximize the potential from it?
So the truth is, the bamboo, the going rate for bamboo that's fully matured, full maturity takes 6 years, is about $15,000 to $18,000, right? That's on 1 acre of land. Okay, that bamboo will propagate itself and will be harvestable for 100 years. Okay? So when you say how much land makes sense, it really depends on what you're going to do with it, right? And what the plan is.
Okay.
Furthermore, when you think about the bamboo, again, it's a 6-year plan. Now, you can begin harvesting, and this is something that again, I want everybody to be aware of. There's a lot of potential. You can begin harvesting the bamboo almost immediately. After 90 days, there's components of it that could be used for different things. But after the 3rd year, it's a nutritional plant. The shoots in it are phenomenal. The shoots are like artichoke hearts. You can
Has joined the
marinate
meeting.
them. You can turn them into a bread spread. I've seen soft drinks. I've seen soda made out of the shoots from the bamboo. So
wow.
It's got a lot of different uses, and there's a lot of different ways in which you can create products from it. So again, when you talk about the bamboo, though, you're talking about a longer-term investment, right? You're talking about a longer period of time. However, my position is this. There are so-called Africans that have millions, and I'm not exaggerating, millions of acres in America. And they're just sitting there, and what they're doing is they're paying taxes on them acres every year. Generation to generation, they're sitting on that land, they know it's there, and they're not doing anything with it. Guess what? We can change our existence with that land right there.
Right. And that leads me to my last question. I'll be quiet after this. Like, let's say I get some land that's, you know, kind of untouched in a sense. It's still like wooded and trees and stuff like that.
Yep.
If I'm in a country that's not necessarily on board yet with the agricultural aspects of hemp, could I have a clearing within that wooded area to then grow the hemp in it so it's kind of shielded and protected?
Melanie
has joined the meeting.
So, are you talking about a gorilla grow?
I mean, essentially, you know what I mean?
Has joined the meeting.
Well, again, what we find is, and again, the ledge will always be kind of in the direction of the legal, right?
Has left the meeting.
We're looking to find the legal means so that we can stand in the light. That being said, the secondary crop is bamboo, and the Moso bamboo grows to be 73 feet in 90 days.
Right.
73 feet tall in 90 days. If you
90
grow
days.
that correctly, nobody will be able to find anything that you got in the center.
Got it. That was my thinking going into it. Okay.
Yeah. There's a method to the madness, brother.
Right. All right. Cool. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. I know that some people just joined. Welcome. It is a pleasure to have you. Health and wellness upon your houses. We are recording this, so every question that's been asked so far will be included in the recording, and we'll make that available to everybody. Again, we're going to do this weekly, right? I do appreciate the fact that everybody's got a lot of questions. Know that, you know, when I get off this call, I got 2 more calls coming up. So I stay busy, but what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that I'm available to you, and you can ask your questions. So please, anybody that has a question, feel free to ask it. Say your name first, and then state your question.
This is Philip Jones out of Jersey.
Yes.
I have a question about the use of the land. So say if I wanted to lease a certain number of acres, if I wanted to plant that bamboo, I would need a 6-year lease, right?
Say again? You're breaking up a little bit.
I was saying that
Uh-oh. What happened?
okay, so I'm right here. So if I wanted to specifically lease land for bamboo, I would need a minimum 6-year lease for that land, correct?
Absolutely. And the truth is, so here's the thing, and again, remember this. If you grow bamboo, the bamboo that you put in the ground is going to be harvestable for 100 years.
Has joined the meeting.
Right where you put it, it will be harvestable for 100 years. And if you don't take care in the way that you plant it,
has joined the
will
meeting.
Spread. It's an invasive species. It will spread. and it will create a rainforest. That's why the Minister of Agriculture said, go build your rainforest, because that's exactly what it will do.
Cool. That sounds great, and it also leads me into my next question. So I lease for 6 years for bamboo. At the end of those 6 years, do I have, like, releasing those specific acres?
Yeah, absolutely. Before the expiration of that lease, we step back to the lessor and just re-up and take those acres for an additional period of time.
Okay, great.
Now,
and I can do that at any time.
I do want to qualify. I do want to qualify. At that point, the lessor could say, no, I don't want to lease you that land, right? At that point, they absolutely have the right to say, no, I don't want to renew your lease. You know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
But the likelihood is great. Again, they ain't doing nothing out there with it. They're not looking at it. They're not seeing it. They're nowhere near that land. We're going to do something where they ain't never did nothing with it.
Okay, well, and final question. So say I renew the lease, and we can renew a lease for up to 99 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's the second part of the lease. So if I wanted to build through, like, a homestead,
yeah.
So when I go and travel, I just have a small space for me and my family to stay for a week or 2 or 3 when we're in Africa doing business, and then go back home.
This is the plan, but you should understand, in Rumarudi, there's no hotel, right? There's none of that. What we are going to need there, we're going to have to build there.
Well, I'm thinking bed and breakfast.
Man, and I'm saying, well, here's the thing, okay? And because I'm with that, right? But remember, we are in the #1 safari area in the world. Below us is a forest, and going further is the ocean. We're in the #1 safari area in the world. Bed and breakfast is good, but you might want to be a little elevated. You might want to make this an observation.
Well, which brings up questions of, and I've also had questions of what would be regulated in terms of building a multi-story. But yeah, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna finish. This is up, but yeah, I'm thinking big. I'm thinking resort. I'm thinking destination. So where alleged group members go and stay when they want to go and see what's going on with their land.
Absolutely. And furthermore, I gotta get. Can everybody mute their microphones? I got those too. All right. And furthermore, when we're not there, that can be working year-round as a resort, right? And we can hire local talent to work there and to staff it. Absolutely. I don't have the audacity to think small. Now, I am also a realist, and as it stands, we've got land, flat land, shovel-ready, that goes forever. Your eye cannot see as far as this land goes, right? So with that in mind, in order for someone to be able to potentially be there in a year, right, 6 months to a year, we have to have an economical and easy method of building. And so that is why we kind of focused on the dome homes, because they're cheap to put together. Furthermore, if we can cultivate the local talent there to be able to build those dome homes, well, it not only serves for us to be able to find easy shelter that is free to us, basically, right? And furthermore, it spins up another business line in the area of construction.
No, this Tracy, she's got a big full refrigerator, but really all we keep in there is beer and water.
All right.
So,
was there any other, somebody's in the store, he's telling about beer and water. All right.
Has joined the meeting.
Does anybody else have any questions? Please feel free, say your name and go ahead and ask your question.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you vaguely. Yep, you can speak.
I'm not hearing this.
We can hear you. Sister, we can hear you.
Hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you.
Oh, hi, Peter. Grand Risings, legends. Everybody okay?
Yes, indeed. How are you?
I'm blessed. Good to be here with you guys today. I have a quick question regarding the bamboo crops.
Yes.
You were mentioning something about it could start harvesting at 3 months,
Yes.
and then it goes to the next period. Now, who makes the determination of what gets harvested, how much gets harvested, if we are not there in Kenya to make the determination? Like, is there someone that's overseeing the crops there on our behalf to say, okay, we're going to harvest half an acre, a quarter acre, and use it for this purpose, and then we're going to leave the rest for maturity to harvest for another purpose? How does that work? Or is it solely on us, the owners, to make the determination?
Absolutely not. What we don't want to do is micromanage these farmers. They are lifelong farmers. They are born and raised in Kenya. They know exactly what they're doing in Kenya.
Right.
It would be foolish for us, being 2,000 miles away, talking like we knew what we was talking about, for them to do. You understand?
Right, but I'm saying, is there a process in place to say we're only going to use? Okay, say for instance I get 5 acres, right?
Yes.
And on those 5 acres to start, I want to grow 5 acres of bamboo.
Okay.
Is there a process in place that will let me know, okay, out of those 5 acres, we're going to use the 1 acre to harvest in 3 months, and this is what we're going to do with it? And is there something I need to do that will take my harvest to the next stage, or is that automatically done by the processes over there?
So that's a very good question. That is a very good question. And there has not been a lot of thought into the bamboo, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because the bamboo is a long-term solution. The way that I look at the bamboo is stacking money into the future, right? It's going to be 6 years before the full harvest on the bamboo. And so I haven't been focused on that. And more than that, I've been focused on the 90-day to 110-day crops, right?
Okay.
So chia seeds, we see that there are, and I've shared in the room, let me see, somebody's echoing really bad. Let me see, was that? So we've identified, and we can see different crops.
Has left the meeting.
Many different crops that are making people millionaires in KES, right, in Kenyan money. Millions per year using 1 acre, using a half an acre of land. And we know what those crops are. We can get access to those seeds. So we can duplicate that effort, okay? So while the bamboo is absolutely valuable, it's a gold mine. Not only that, it has great benefit to the continent itself and to the people through all of the things it can do. But it is a much longer term. It is a much longer term endeavor, right? When you're talking 6 to 10 years maturity, but now
Philip Jones
when
has
it
joined the
goes to
meeting.
that 6 to 10 year maturity rate, that bamboo is the best flooring in the world. It's the best decking in the world. It's so hard. It's excellent. So it's a gold mine, okay? The issue is, so imagine you buy 5 acres, right?
Right.
And around you are other people, and they buy 20, 25 acres, okay?
Right.
If you plant bamboo in the middle, it's going to affect the acreage around you.
Okay.
So the way that I'm looking at the bamboo, and everybody that wants to do bamboo, I don't want to discourage anybody because I think it's,
has joined the meeting.
The way personally that I'm going to build my land, I'm going to build X amount of acres to grow hemp. I'm going to build probably the majority to grow food, and then I'm going to have X amount that I'm going to grow bamboo. And the way that we want to do that is we want to put the bamboo in such a way that it provides cover. So everybody that determines that they want to buy bamboo, their bamboo acres are going to sit in the back. They're not going to be contiguous with the rest of their acreage. They're going to sit in the way back, right, to give us cover. Does that make sense? Can I get everybody to mute their... Everybody that's not talking, mute your phone.
Peter, that makes absolute sense, but in a situation, what if I want to have mixed crop? Say, for instance, I'm doing 5 acres, and say, for instance, I want to have 1 acre as bamboo, 1 acre hemp, 1 acre whatever, just to have a variety to see what the production outcome would be. Would they split the land up accordingly?
That is very difficult because, again, what I want you to think of is we've got a farmer, right? And, with some luck, we'll have a tractor on the ground there. And he's got in front of him 500 acres to plant. Right?
Okay.
And to try to tell him, okay, on this acre I want you to plant this, and on that acre I want you to plant that, is very, very difficult. That's going to hurt.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. So what you're pretty much suggesting is if we have 5 acres or 2 acres or 1 acre or whatever, we keep the crop consistent on those 5 acres for the duration till harvest?
Exactly. And that there be some level of consistency according to all acres. So when we do 500 acres, I want to make it as easy on that man as possible, right? I don't want to kill him.
I see.
Has joined the meeting.
I know. It makes sense. It makes absolute sense. But is there something that you have that, like, someone like me who has no farming experience can look at to see which would be the best profitable for the period, the season, the time period? You understand, like from May to July, do you have like a chart we can look at that say, well, planting this crop at this period is more profitable than planting something else, and what the turnover rate would be for that crop?
So there are charts like that available on the internet. You can find that specifically for Kenya. But again, what we're doing is we're going to rely on those local people. They know what they need.
Okay.
Right?
So
they
that's
know
what I'm saying. Are you putting something together based on the local input to tell us here what is the best season? Like, is there someone working with the local people to draw up a mapping chart based on the people in Kenya? Is there someone that's drawing something up to let us know, okay, they're suggesting that you plant this in this period and that in that period?
Well, there are things so they've got 4 harvest seasons in Kenya. And there are things that you can just absolutely count on. Onions and tomatoes are on every single plate with every single meal. No matter what, grow onions and tomatoes, they're always going to sell, right?
Okay.
Chia seeds, there's a sister that's growing chia seeds, and this sister is doing it. I mean, she is wealthy with the chia seeds. There's another sister growing nothing but watermelon. And, I mean, again, we're talking about, so these people generally have 1 acre. We're not talking about, large farming operations. These are just individuals that have 1 or 2 acres. And I mean to say, my people,
they're doing well.
Oh, my goodness, they're making it happen. right?
So, Peter, if I wanted to start off with 1 acre and then increase to 2 acres, how would that work? Or am I locked into the 1 acre?
No, you can add additional acres. What you'll need to know is that those acres won't be contiguous. You understand?
Okay.
The acre, so if you buy 1 acre, somebody else is going to buy 20 acres right beside you, right?
Right beside
And so
me.
when you want to buy another acre, it's going to be 20 acres down the road.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to take over the meeting. It's just that I've been out of the loop, and I'm just trying to get as much as I can.
No, that's a good question, sister. Thank you.
Greetings, Mr. Peter. This is Austin. I have a question.
Greetings.
Yes. Recently, we talked on Facebook, and I acquired some acres. So I'd like to know the next step.
You said you acquired some acres?
Yes, I did acquire some acres, and I'd like to know the next step.
Oh, there's a lot of background noise. It's very difficult for me to understand you.
You're trying to lead people for people to fight.
Hello?
You all right?
Is this me that is the airport?
What? One more time?
Is this me with the airport, or is somebody else?
Has left the meeting.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding you. Can you maybe type your question into Facebook?
Omar.
Has joined the meeting.
Okay,
I have a question.
Yes. Yep. Someone said they have a question?
Yeah, my name is Michael Pierre.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. How are you doing, Pierre?
Excellent.
Excellent, I'm glad to hear it. My question is this. I noticed that there are 3 ways to get in. I obviously don't own any land in Kenya or Jamaica, but I want to join in 2 ways. So I know there's a $400 payment to become part of the LEDS group, and I understand that. But there's also, I saw a part where you were saying you could actually go to the country and do
left
farming.
the meeting.
Yeah, where there was kind of an option to work.
Right, exactly. To actually go to that country and actually learn the trade that you're actually, we'll just do it for, I think you said 2 planting seasons. I just want to know, so I can start making plans to take vacation from work. How long is the planting season?
You called it vacation, huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
You're cold. Yeah, it will be a vacation for me.
Has joined the meeting.
It is not going to be any vacation for you, brother.
I like that. You know what? That's not funny.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
I like to work. I like to get my hands dirty.
Yeah,
I'm a computer tech, but I like to get my hands dirty.
We can't be scared of it, right? So, my guess is that opportunity will.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well,
beautiful. How are you?
1 second. My guess is that opportunity will materialize after our first harvest. Once we have our first harvest, suddenly, now we're going to really realize how much work there is and how many hands we need on the ground over there. So it is at that point that profit will be generated, and we'll be able to not only build shelter to accommodate, but we'll also we'll need the assistance, right?
Right.
Now,
gotcha.
I sure want to make sure everybody understands. I try my best not to share any pictures of the executive board and where he's at that wouldn't I wouldn't want shared to me maybe sure. But the brother just built a shelter. He moved away from his wife and children into the middle of our land, and he built this shelter from the ground up, and that's where he lives. And this shelter is basically designed to just keep wild animals out. He's got a small bedroll in the corner. It's a whole different life.
I saw those
try to
pictures
find
online.
a happy medium, but it's a different life. Now, there's a question in the room. John Melvin, okay? What other crops can be grown other than bamboo? You mentioned hemp. How long does that take to harvest? So I'll take the first question. Everything. We're talking about Kenya. This is the mother of civilization. It is the best soil on the planet Earth. if it can grow anywhere, it grew first in Africa. Okay. I mentioned hemp. How long does it take to harvest? It's a 90-day harvest on hemp. 90 days. And walk us through the scenario of tractor versus farmer. What is the cost in ROI? The farmer is going to cost you $67 a month. And that's going to be per 2 acres. The farmer is going to take manual time to seed and till the earth. That drags out the time that it takes to obviously grow anything. It drags out the time that it takes to get to market. It is not possible. Again, consider that right now we've got, maybe 100 acres collectively. My guess is within the next week, 2 weeks, we'll be more at like 500 acres, 1,000 acres. And so if you pay one farmer to try to farm that and try to seed that, how well do you think you're going to get to market? How much do you think you're really going to get to market? We need a tractor. That tractor needs to be able to till that field in 5 days, 7 days, right? When we're talking about 1,000 acres, we're going to need more than one tractor, okay? In order to be able to get that all tilled at one period, seeded at one period, and then pay the people to harvest, okay? You've got to have hardware, okay? Now, John Melvin asked about ROI, and I've heard a couple of people ask about ROI. I want you to understand this very clearly. If you put a tomato plant out in your backyard, are you guaranteed that that tomato plant is going to yield tomatoes?
No.
There are many factors. There's plenty of slip twixt a cup and a lip, right? There's plenty of slip twixt a cup and a lip. You can't count that money. You can't count those tomato dollars yet. You can't. Not until you get to the market. There are so many factors that determine whether or not you had a good harvest, right? And so what we can say without any question is $20 on an acre. Yeah, you if you make, it's $20 on an acre. So it's not really, you don't want to go into this talking about what's my ROI because it's not quantifiable. It's not measurable. Certainly, we could sit down and we could consider the climactic occurrences of last year at the same time. We could consider 100 years ago the climactic. We could look at kind of the Farmer's Almanac. We could use that kind of history to determine what kind of crops people have had in a similar region with a similar environmental. That doesn't make any sense. You can't quantify it. You cannot qualify that at all. So what we can say is, at $20, having somebody turn this into food that people can eat there, so it doesn't have to be exported. It stays in the local area and is sold right there. Right. We can say without any question, you're certainly going to make more than your $20, right?
Right.
Felicia
has joined the meeting.
Oh, okay. Any other questions, please? Feel free.
Peter, this is Eric. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So you've first of all, thank you for taking the time out today and also doing a pretty good job, or actually a great job of updating us via the Facebook group. So my plan is to buy tens of acres at 1 year at this point, and then as soon as we get our proceeds in 90 days, re-up that for at least 10 years. Do you see anything against that? That's my first question. Against that plan that would make that not wise?
Absolutely not. That's exactly what I plan to do. As soon as, hey, look, we come from America, and we want to bring everything that we've learned here in America and every experience. I don't call them negative. I call them experiences. And in my experience, 1 will get you 2, 2 will get you 4, 4 will get you 8. You understand? So absolutely. This is how we do this.
Okay. And my second question is, once we get, I plan on paying my $400 tonight, and then putting the rest of my money, I say probably in the next 7 days, as you said, or sooner. When could we start to expect, I guess, the clock to start ticking, as far as
the actual growing season? Like, I guess once our money is in and we trust the process, when do we start to, I guess, would it be September? We should kind of expect to see proceeds?
Well, so here's what the issue is. This is kind of a management stance, because what I don't want to do is every time somebody wants to buy 1 acre or 2 acres,
Anissa Andrews.
I don't want to stop our executive director from working in the field.
Has left the meeting.
Into the town, you know what I'm saying, 4 hours away,
Absolutely.
to file for 1 acre, for 2 acres. So the way that makes sense is we wait until there are large blocks of orders, right? 50 acres at a time, 100 acres at a time. And at that point, it makes sense for him to stop what he's doing and go into town and get those orders filled, right? So with that in mind, the expectation is from the point that seeds are put into the ground to harvest is, generally speaking, 90 to 110 days. The question or the management hurdle comes into play where, again, we have to order them in blocks, right? We have to order them in blocks of land. Now, further, right now what happens is he's grabbing those blocks of land, he's grabbing them contiguously, and he is extending the fencing, right? So he's moving that fencing to accommodate the additional plots of land. At the end of the day, the land has to be fenced in, right? It's got to be fenced in. And why? I just find this awesome. Why? Because lions, hyenas, giraffes, elephants, I just find that awesome, right?
I think so too.
I just find that awesome, you know. It's not like we got in the city, turkeys, no, it's not like that.
Question, so you're telling me the lions and the hyenas will destroy the crops?
They will be there. It's not necessarily that they will destroy the crops, but they'll run all through it. Elephant comes trauma through your field.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's not a good thing.
No.
Yeah.
It's not that they're looking for the crops, but this is their land, you know what I'm saying?
That's their land, absolutely.
Right. So you have to fence it off. And generally speaking, what they do is they electrify it. Not enough to hurt the animals, but it's enough so that they stay away. You know, they realize to stay away from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Who do we need to address with sending the money for the purchase of the acreage? And, I mean, yes, I know I'm a little behind with the research and the stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not at home. I'm on the road. And how does the acreage work as far as it goes to pertaining to getting the farmers on the land? Say, for instance, we buy the acres in blocks. How many farmers are we going to need per acre, and how does their payment work? Per se, do they get paid monthly, yearly? How does that work, and what do we, you know?
Well, so we modified that because what we determined was it made more sense and it was easy for the legend if we just bought a tractor, right? Because we can buy a tractor one time.
Has joined the meeting.
And when we buy that tractor, it plows everybody's land, right?
Okay.
We got 500 acres. We plow that all at one time. We put a seeder attachment on the back of it, and we plow and seed at one time, right? So at that point, we don't have to worry about the 1 farmer per 2 acre restriction. We don't have to pay the farmers throughout the entire growth season. However, at harvest season, we're going to need a team of people out there. Okay.
Right. How do their payments work? Because we're going to need the team to also sow the seeds, till the land, weed the land, maintain the land from, you know, like weeds or being overrun by bugs or whatever natural.
No, the tractor will do that. We'll put the attachments on the back of the tractor and you drag it through the field. You'll take care of that'll take care of the weeding, that'll take care of the tilling, it'll also take care of the seeding. The only real reason.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, the only real reason that we're going to need farmers there is for harvesting. And the harvesting is going to be a mammoth task. If you think about it, we're talking about 500 acres. And potentially we're talking about diverse crops. That is going to be a mammoth effort. But I tell you this, again, the way that that's going to work is it's going to be based on equity. They will be paid when the produce goes to market. Right. They get paid when the produce goes to market. So, and again, they are unemployed. They currently don't have jobs. They will be happy to have that happen.
So let me ask you something. How do we pay the farmer? I mean, is it a situation where we have to pay them for the entire harvest season, or do they get paid monthly? How does it work?
Harvest season will only be a week, no monthly.
Oh.
Take the farmer out of it monthly.
Okay, so how do they get paid? Do we have to pay them up front?
Nope, just like I said, they get paid at market, when it's taken to market. So once they've harvested and it's gone to market, they'll be paid from the proceeds.
Okay. Is the paperwork in the file where I can see who I need to send the money to and how much I need to send the money to get my acres secured?
Yes. So, and the documentation is in the file section. And it doesn't tell you who to send it to, I don't think. You can send it directly to me. Okay. And my email address is pbrown@theledgegroup.com.
I got you, Peter.
All right, then.
I got you. This is Lorraine. You know, I'm the sister that went to a compound in Jamaica looking for you.
Oh.
Yes. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm always concerned with my people in Jamaica, but I know we're not quite there yet.
No, but we're working on it. I've got a letter out to Ken Roy, who is the president of the Akampong Council, and I've made a proposal. I've sent them a letter of intent, and, you know, they're going to work through that. I'm sure they're going to ask some questions and push back, and we'll negotiate, but we're going to get there, you know.
No, I know that. That's why I don't even ask you about it anymore. I know you got it on lock, but I'm trying to get it on this Africa, the deal with Africa, so that's where I'm at right now.
Absolutely.
So I'm not taking over your meeting. I'm just asking questions. So you say the files are in the folder that I can see who I send the money to you and how much money I need to send, right?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Peter. You guys rock. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, sister. All right. I'm sure somebody's got other questions. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put you on hold 1 second. I'm gonna come right back. We'll take some more questions. Okay?
Hello.
Peace.
On break.
Yes, he took a quick break.
Yeah, greetings.
Peace.
It's the Nico on the line.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, greetings.
Can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Cassandra.
Right. How you doing, sister?
Okay, good. Hey.
Hey
now.
Cassandra.
I'm back.
It took me forever to get this stuff downloaded. Yes.
You are on the computer. I can see that. That's all right.
Oh, yeah. Sorry I'm late.
You're in Ghana, right?
Yeah, I'm in Accra, yeah.
Yes, I love it. We want to be there with you. Everybody's jealous.
Come on. I should be.
I know that's right, sister. I know.
Look, I have one question right quick when you get around to me.
All right, go ahead. You got the cons.
Okay, look, I just wanted to make certain that you had checked everything there. Where is there to make certain that hemp is legal to grow in wherever you're going to grow? Because in all actuality, here in Ghana, hemp is illegal.
Oh, I know.
To grow it, to present it, to smoke it, to whatever. So I'm sure you checked on that, but I just wanted to make certain that, you know, you had checked. Okay.
Oh, it's completely illegal
Okay.
to grow hemp in Kenya. It is 100% illegal. But guess what? The Ledge Group holds the only license in the world to be able to do so. We've got it from the Minister of Agriculture in writing that we are the only people that have a license to grow hemp in Kenya. So we're going
Okay. Well, that's the only question I had, and I want to make certain that, you know, that was job one, and so you crossed your T's and dotted your I's there, so it's a go.
You already know, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm thinking that in the country I'm thinking about, which is Belize, that could serve as some leverage if we approach local government with that document. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is true. However, I would say to you, let's get a harvest in. So the first thing that we're going to do with the hemp harvest, right? We've spoken about the bamboo. We've spoken about the food crop. The hemp harvest, understand, Kenya is importing 85% of their fiber from Chinese. Their factories, schools, and homes are heated with firewood. Robert sends me messages and says to me, man, it is very, very, very cold out right now. And all they're using is firewood. And guess where they're getting that firewood? They're buying the firewood from the Chinese. The Chinese are milling.
Oh my God.
The Chinese are milling Kenyan wood and selling it to them. So they're causing deforestation in the country, on the continent. Plus, they're sucking the blood of the people. So, guess what hemp makes? Hemp makes charcoal briquettes. They're more easily packed. They're more easily stored. They burn with 4% ash. They're eco-friendly. They burn longer. They burn stronger. And they kick the Chinese the hell out of the country. So the very first product coming from hemp is going to be to diminish their dependency on those outsiders. That's the first product. But please understand, when we talk about hemp, there are 4 products that are going to come from every single plant. First is the stalk. The stalk can be separated and it creates fiber. So we can make clothes from that. We can make the charcoal briquettes from that. We can make hemp bricks from that. Okay, so that's the one product, the stalk. The second product is the flour. Okay, the flour makes flour, the kind of flour that you make bread with. You can make flour, hemp flour, with the flour of that plant. The third product is the seed. The seed is a multi-billion-dollar international industry. Okay, we're looking to be seed vendors to be able to sell them all over the earth. So the seed is not only valuable in the area of being able to grow hemp, but it is also a nutritional supplement full of omega-3s, omega-6s, and omega-9. Okay? Then, lastly, when you grow hemp, you want to grow beans with the hemp.
Left the meeting.
Because the beans will create nitrogen, which helps the hemp plant to grow. And so, with one plant, we have 3 forms of nutrition, 1 form of fiber, and all of these are marketable products right where we are. Okay? So the hemp is an absolute gold mine.
Hi, Peter.
Hello.
Davis. Can you hear me?
Davis, I can't hear you. How are you, my brother?
Doing much better. Pain is very much under control, so I'm happy about that.
Good.
I wanted to ask, are you going to, is there going to be a team from people like us who are on this call who may go to Ground Zero in Kenya and, you know, do like a field visit, because it was something that I'd probably be interested in, you know?
I would, and that is absolutely the direction. Here is what I will say to that. Based on that, there is a responsibility that I have. And I know, just based on my constant communication and kind of dealing with them, that it's going to be a culture shock to a lot of people. It's very, very different than anything that you've known. If you've never been to Africa before, this is going to be very different, and especially in Kenya, it's going to be very different. And so my responsibility is to make sure that there are certain things in place for you so that it's not so, I don't want to send you out there with a sleeping bag and say, okay, welcome to Room Rudy, right? We need to have structures in place. We need to have something, as I said, there's no hotel in Room Rudy. So we need to have structures in place that will accommodate that. And we're rapidly moving towards that. Again, we purchased the tools to be able to build dome houses. And we're going to get those people trained to be able to do so. And then we can deploy some temporary and permanent shelters on that land. But everything is in steps, right? So it costs money to do that. So in order to get to that place, we got to grow some food, right? We got to grow some food and we got to get it to market. Once we get it to market, now we've got capital, we can work on that, right? We can do those other things. So everything is a sequential process to get to the next place.
I hear you talk about market time. Harvest time. At around harvest time, are you going to select a team from the U.S. to go to manage harvest time, or are you going to use locals on the ground to do it?
Why wouldn't we use locals? So again, they need work. They need work, right? They are hungry. They need work, and we want to benefit the people of Kenya as much as we possibly can. And so it would be an expense to send people from America to go harvest when we have people that have been in Kenya, lifelong farmers, and ready to do that work that we can pay to have it done.
Okay.
It's just the easiest model that I can think of, which will draw passive income, passive and residual income. It's very easy. In my mind, if I've got to pay $20 for a farmer, I've got to pay, $20 for an acre. I pay him, $40 for his harvesting time, and I come back with $900, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yes, indeed.
So, me being over here and being kind of familiar with the attitudes regarding African Americans or Americans, period, and Africans here on the ground, you're really, really going to need somebody to come and oversee all of this. I'm not trying to be a naysayer or anything, but they have a habit in many instances. People have money for equipment, have sent money for projects, and they have misappropriated thousands and thousands of dollars as a routine in funding that they've sent over here. People have sent money and they've been monitoring projects from afar. And then when they get here, they have nothing, and they have no money, they have no equipment, they have no nothing. So I suggest that you really going to have someone over here to oversee it. Otherwise, when you kind of like fan a dollar in front of a broke person, you can't really expect all the time for them to use it for what you're sending it for. So that's a consideration you might want to address. And I'm just saying from experience that, they call it chopping the money. Well, they will chop your money, and that's bad.
You're right.
So I want to look into that, Peter.
I appreciate that. I don't know if you've seen what we've done. So our executive director there in Kenya actually is, so we are a subsidiary. It's a legitimate business, Ledge Africa Limited in Kenya, sealed and with legal legal precedent, okay? Our executive director, I'm a big fan of exactly what you say, see, especially when I can't put my hands on, you know, my material, my assets, right?
Absolutely.
So I learned from my mama, what you do is you feed people with a long handle. Let me get right, 19. You feed people with a long-handled spoon to try to find out from what place you can deal with them. You understand?
Absolutely.
So our executive director, Robert Kiyama, is well known by everyone on Facebook. I've had some people go meet him on the land and speak with him. And furthermore, I used the long-handled spoon. I sent him small amounts of money, increasing in size, and gave him tasks to complete, and each of those tasks were completed, and I was able to validate that. Since that time, we have sent $20,000 into Kenya. We have built a dam and now have a lake in place. We've now fenced off all of our land, and it is in place. And now, the reason that this is a very interesting thing is because, and I'm sure most people on the phone don't know this, but $20,000 in Kenya means that he could disappear and live really good for probably
forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
He could live really good with $20,000 and never had to worry about nothing again. You know, he ain't sure ain't have to worry about me in America. You understand?
Yeah.
I can say without question that this man has passed each and every test. I have absolutely no worries as it
Okay. That's my concern. That was a very serious concern for me because I've seen it and I've heard a lot of tearjerker stories. And I definitely don't want you to become, a victim of any type of scam.
I appreciate it. I'll tell you what I'm doing, sister, is the way that we're working is, again, I'm looking to form alliances. And so I don't want to speak too much out of class, but I'm working with a brother by the name of Andre Obaseki. He's a member of the group. Well, I don't know how many of you are familiar, but in the state of Edo, Obaseki name goes back 4,000 years. They can trace their family lineage back 4,000 years. They are a big name. Well, guess what? They're in Nigeria, okay? And so I'm not bringing my so-called African-American behind over into Nigeria thinking that I'm going to make some big oil deals. It's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let family deal with family. I know Andre Obaseki on this side in America, and I'll let him deal with his family, and we'll create business between them, and in the middle, we'll find our way, right? But we've got to be very intelligent. Now,
absolutely.
At the same time, and I know you could be able to vouch for this, at the same time, the Africans there are told something about us, to not listen to us, not get near us, not pay attention to us. We'll rub off and we'll get them dirty. And at the same time, can I get everybody to mute their mics, please? Mute your phones. Y'all got to have a little bit of, recognize that you're on a call, that everybody can hear everything that's going on in the background. Mute your phones, okay? And so the Africans over in Africa have been told dirty stories about us, right? That we can't be trusted. We pick their pockets. We get them dirty if they get too close. You understand? And we have been told awful stories about them. They're the most corrupt people on earth. You can't trust them. They'll pick your pockets and you get dirty if you get too close to them. Well, a lot of that is propaganda, right? A lot of that is propaganda. A lot of that is real,
Okay, a lot of it is real. Okay.
Some of these brothers out here in America, you don't want to get too close to. Let's keep it 100, right?
Absolutely.
So we got to, at this point in 2017, we got to be mature enough to be honest, right? And call it what it is.
Yeah.
But what we do is we put the safeguards in place, we put the checks and balances and the various security protocols in place, and then we walk in the steps of the ancestors.
Okay. All right. Well, You know, I'm just playing the advocate, but they call it the devil's advocate because I don't want you to get got, because I have to, you know, I hate to have to put my boxing gloves on.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard. Don't nobody like picking up the pieces of somebody crying because they didn't got.
I know.
That ain't no fun. Look at the look on his face. No, that ain't no fun.
I know. Congratulations on your project. I'm very proud of you, and I'm just knowing that everything's going to work out fine. Anything you need me to do on this side of the water, let me know, and, you know, I'm here.
Thank you, sister. I'm coming over there. I'm going to come see you now.
Bring it, bring it.
Hey, Peter.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear that Texas accent for a mile away.
Nah, man, don't twist that up. I'm not from Texas.
Okay, well.
Real quick, I didn't hear before, but is there actual hemp planted at this point in Kenya or no?
There is not. Nobody in the world has license to plant hemp. Only the Ledge Group.
But that's what I meant. Through the Ledge Group, is there anything planted?
Yes, we're the only ones that can plant it. No, what we're doing is we're waiting on, and so this is the other hurdle that we're working on, and I'm looking to streamline. This is another reason why we are going to become a seed certifier, because first of all, getting seeds into Kenya is a nightmare. Getting seeds, and the reason being, I'm appreciative for the reason. The reason being, they don't want no GMO. They don't want they want to know and have every single seed certified. They want phytosanitation certificates on every single seed that enters into that country. And I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. Coming from the land where we got chickens without lips, I'm not mad at them, right? So,
okay.
But the issue is that they don't move, so we coming from America. I found this out when I went down south. I got down south, and I put my 75 cents in the soda machine. I pushed the button, and I'm from New York and Boston, man. I pushed the button. I want my soda, man. This thing thought about it for a little while, It took its time. So, and down south, whenever I started to speak to somebody, I started speaking quick. They started watching me. They gave me the side eye. And so what I realized is things happen on a different schedule in different areas. And Kenya and seeds is definitely one of those.
Yes.
It takes a lot to get them to move forward. Now, furthermore, one vendor. I need everybody to mute their mics.
Thank you.
I need everybody to mute your microphones. Who's that? 15? I got you. Furthermore, as it relates to hemp, the #1 producer of hemp seeds in the world is Canada, right? Well, Canada has one grow season, one single grow season, okay? And what happens is Canada's out of seeds. If you reach out to try to find seeds in Canada right now, they'll all say that they're sold out, that your first order will be in 2018. And so that doesn't give me dismay. I'm not really worried about that. I got a license to grow, right? So I'm not worried about that. What that does is it actually encourages me, because that's exactly the market that we're looking to take over. That's exactly what I'm looking to take over. If we grow 50 acres of hemp, do you know how many seeds we come back with? The seeds are ridiculous. And we cultivate that, we get those certified, and we sell them on an international market. We push Canada into the water in a year. In a year, we push it over into the water.
So Peter.
Yes, sir.
Given that it's a 90-day growth cycle for the hemp, for some of the industrial uses we're going to have them for.
Yeah.
Do you have a date of actual planting in place yet?
I don't. We have to have the seeds first, and so we've got the Minister of Agriculture putting pressure, because again, they want to see this happen. We've got the Minister of Agriculture putting pressure on the East Africa Seed Company, as well as Simlaw Seeds, and a number of the other seed vendors. In order to get seeds into Africa, they must go through a certifying agent. So you have to deal with them. You don't have a choice.
Right.
So while that's happening, that's fine. We've got that pressure happening. We're fencing in the land. We're bringing in manure. We're making sure that we're ready. But furthermore, again, if we continue to run into problems with the hemp, I'm not worried about it. If I grow all of those acres with onions and tomatoes, guess what? We will sell out of onions and tomatoes. So there's no reason that we need to wait for the hemp seeds. We need to wait for anything. Not when there is a market and 1,000 products that we can grow that can be sold at the local market. Now further, the marketplace in Rumarudi is African-wide famous. This place that they go to in Nairobi, everyone comes here, and in the one day, every Thursday, they go there, and millions upon millions of dollars in goods are traded in livestock and in produce. One day, every single week, and they're coming from everywhere. Now, and again, when I say they're coming from everywhere, please let me impress upon you how big that is. Rumarudi doesn't have a hotel. So that means they're not going there and staying there. They're going there, doing their business, and they're leaving out that same day. And they're coming from all over Africa to this marketplace.
This is Demonte. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So, how does, in terms of profit, how will taxes work stateside?
Stateside taxes? Oh, that's yeah. That's a very interesting question. Well, and I'll tell you, I got to tell you, personally, my money's going to Belize. I'm not bringing it stateside. I'm not bringing it stateside at all. No chance, no how.
Don't.
They don't need to be. They done been in my business. They've been in my business for 400 years. They don't need not one more minute in my business. So,
great tax.
What do they even need to know?
Personally, my money's going to be in Belize. Okay. I can't tell you what to do with your profit or how to. You know what I'm saying? The money's going to come. Robert's going to divvy it up. He's going to tell me what everybody gets. He's going to send me the money. And from there, I'll get it to you, unless you've got an account in Belize or in the Bahamas or somewhere else that you want. Hand us those routing tracking numbers. We'll send you that money, and it's done. Personally,
Excuse me, I have a question. What is the Minister of Agriculture's name over there in Kenya?
Oh, I've got it written. I've got it on this sheet. Let me see. Give me 1 second. And you butchered this man's name. Let me give it a shot.
Spell it, Peter.
I'll give it a shot. All right, let's see.
And then another question also while you're looking for that. I wanted to know, is a copy of the document posted online in our group that you have from them about the property?
Which document?
You said you have a copy of a document from the Minister of Agriculture regarding the hemp.
So this document, as a matter of fact, are you on the computer or on the phone?
I'm on the phone, actually.
All right. Well, so for everybody on the computer, I'm going to share the document right now, and you'll be able to see it in 1 second. Those on the computer,
okay.
You can see this. Actually, my apologies, it doesn't come from the Minister of Agriculture. This comes from the KEFIS office, and the managing director is Esther Kimani.
Okay.
So this comes from the KEFIS office, and as we look, KEFIS received your request to import seeds of canaf, hibiscus cannabis, sun hemp, and industrial hemp cannabis sativa from Canada into the Republic of Kenya. However, the import conditions of the commodities were not available. Pest risk analysis was conducted in order to come up with clear import requirements. Lists of pests associated with the commodities were developed based on results from search of both print and electronic sources of information. The identity pathway is seed for propagation. Upon evaluation, 7 pests were found to follow pathway for canaf, while 9 pests were found to follow pathway for sun hemp and industrial hemp, and could have potential to cause significant economic losses if introduced into Kenya. The import conditions are proposed as attached. You are further advised that since this is the first import of the commodities into Kenya, once the seed is imported, KEPIS shall monitor the plant for a while to ensure freedom from pests and evaluation of the invasiveness potential of the plant. We look forward to the facilitation of safe seed trade between countries. That's signed by the Managing Director of the KEPIS, Esther Kimani, PhD.
Okay, you're sharing that on the Basecamp group or?
I think that is in Basecamp. I'm sharing that on the WebEx. Those on the computer are reading it with me.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you there?
I am indeed.
Okay, then. All right, then. Well, let's see. I had a question, but I kind of forgot it. So it's oh, okay. Here's another one. So the seeds, I mean, so you're importing seeds to legally. I certainly you want to go legally. However, there are seeds available all over Kenya and all over Ghana. They call them farmers, and they have their own seeds, and the seeds are available, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere. I mean, like under the, I don't know how you would negotiate it through the minister of the development that you're corresponding with, but you don't have to import anything. I mean, the farmers are growing seeds everywhere. Everybody's in the bushes smoking weed everywhere.
Well, hemp and marijuana are 2 different things.
Okay.
The hemp is the male plant. It doesn't.
Right.
You can't smoke it. You could smoke a telephone pole. It wouldn't do nothing. Right.
Okay.
It's the male plant. It's different. Right.
Okay.
And the other thing is that we need a lot of seeds.
Okay,
right?
I see.
We need, so again, we've got 53,000 acres available. 26,000 is gifted to us to grow bamboo, so that's gone. Forget that. But we got 53,000 acres available. Shoot. I can't use it all right now, but look. I'll be a 90-year-old trying somebody. I'll tell you what.
Well, you just need to take some of the donation and you just need to show up yourself, look at yourself, because you know, I mean, everyone would be more comfortable if you had your eyes on it yourself, so you can come back and report. So.
Oh, I know. I'm going to get there soon. We were offered or asked to host the International Hemp Forum in Nairobi this year. And I'm still trying to get that built. It's awesome. The last time, if anybody wants to look it up, the last International Hemp Forum was held in Kyoto, Japan, and that was last year. It was a success. They would like us to host it based on what we are doing and looking to do in Kenya.
In Kenya, okay.
My intention is to be there. I will be there this year. There's really no way around that. I have to. So I'm going to be in Kenya this year, and I will film and show everything that that everyone wants to see at that point.
Okay.
Does anybody have any more questions? There's a lot of people. I know y'all got questions.
Hey, Peter, this is Eric. I had another quick question. I've seen you have heard about a 20% operating cost that the ledge would take from the proceeds. Is that correct?
Yeah. So yeah, that I saw one of the board members suggest that, and I think that's fine. That's good. And the reason that I say that is because our general modus operandi is we put equipment on your land. It's your land, it's our equipment, right? You work, you process whatever product it is, you run it through that equipment, you turn it into a product, and we do a split, 51-49, okay, with a descending equity model. But in this case, we're not placing equipment on the land. You're simply growing food. So you're using the opportunity to use the farmer, to collectively use the equipment, and to grow this food. So the ledge group, yes, somebody on the ledge group said 20%. I heard it. It sounds good. It makes sense to me. And that 20% goes back into capacity and building more.
Understood. Thank you.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, remember and bear in mind, there's more. There's much. Like I said, some of y'all are going to be in for a culture shock, man. It's very different. Look, Robert ain't got no TV out there. He ain't got no electricity out there. He doesn't have running water out there right now. You understand? This is going to be a very different experience. And so what I've got to do is I've got to get certain things in place. We need a solar farm. I can build that. I'm going out there. We'll get that done. We need redundant power systems, right? So wind turbine, solar power. We need filtered and running water, right? We're going to need that. So these are the things that have to be done before I would feel comfortable saying to any of you, yeah, go to that land, check it out. Yeah, you're just going to be on that land. What are you going to do, right? So there are certain things that have to be done. The plan is, again, once we get those seeds in the ground, and I'm talking about food crops, not necessarily hemp. Food crops are our fastest route to profitability. They are sold every week. We're going to plant food crops, and we're going to turn profit. As we turn profit, we turn that money back into the project. We build those dome homes. We build the power solution. We build water filtration solutions. And at that point, we're in a position where we can, in fact, move there. We can use these things, right? Today, if you go out to that land, there's nothing there. You ain't even got shelter. Yeah, y'all going to be like, send me back there. I want to go back to Detroit. Give me Flint, Michigan. At least there wasn't no lions running up on me.
Peter, this is Zuri. I have a question.
How are you, sister?
Good. How are you, brother?
Excellent.
That's good. Well, I wanted to ask because me and two of my friends, we wanted to travel to Kenya because of, me working with the lecture group and everything. But we'll start in Ghana because, like you said, I don't want to be, we don't have any shelter really set up out there. But once they start, or what's that?
Yeah, because when you decide that you want to go to the bathroom and Robert hands you a shovel, you could be like,
No, well, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I did land there in the Army, and they left us out in the woods with nothing. They didn't give us a shovel.
There it is. There's that training. Yeah. You feel right comfortable with a shovel in a roll.
I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But, we really want to help. And I think I asked you about this recently. We can go out there and we can help the executive director. I would love to. I know his shelter or his means of living right now isn't great, but, I mean, the more bodies, the more hands.
Absolutely.
We're going to be there anyway.
Absolutely. And, to that end, I would say
Pierre has left the meeting.
That those dome homes, we're going to need more and more of us skilled in putting them together. Okay?
Right, exactly.
The best would be that every single one of us could, right? Because you do your own.
Yes.
Right. So we definitely we're going to need bodies out there. But again, I don't want there to be any misconceptions. Anybody that goes out there, you going out there to
joined the meeting.
Land. It ain't nothing
but flat land. I don't have no misconceptions, brother.
You can see more sky than you can see the land. So you can't see the end of the land.
Right.
You'll see the end of the sky before you see the end of the land. It's just flat, nothing but land.
Melting.
Has left the meeting.
I believe you.
I'm telling you, these brothers I'm going with, they're motivated, they're ready. We're ready to get hands-on as possible. We were invited to Ghana, a village in Ghana, to help out with an orphanage, you know, to help them do some building there. And, you know, they want to go there and a few other places we were invited to. But if we can get here and get on this land and help get this up and running, we would love to. So I just wanted to throw that out there, you know, just in case, because we plan on leaving in September.
I may, in fact, there's a brother that I have been friends with for years, and this is one of the most dynamic young brothers you ever want to see moving. His name is Brandon Rogers, and he's in Ghana
I've
now.
heard of Brandon.
Oh,
he's in
that's
Ghana,
brother
right
there.
Building Earthbag homes.
Earthbag homes.
Oh, yeah, I know Brandon.
Oh,
I know Brandon personally.
Oh, that is one dynamic brother. I love that.
Oh, yes, he's the neatest. He's very nice, very nice, impressive young man. I know him very well.
Oh, he is a wonderful young man. I love to interact and deal with that young man. He is, that's what it's about right there.
Yeah.
And he makes you proud. You know how you see brothers and you just be like, you know what? That's right. You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I might not even know what you got, but I know you got it. You understand?
Yes, he does.
He's one of them, man. So Brandon is, and I may, in fact, look to enlist him and his crew to come on out to Kenya and demonstrate to my brothers here how to build those earthbag homes. And that might be an easy way to kind of begin that process. And if I can get him to do that, well, then guess what? I'm going to meet him in Kenya so that I can learn, and anybody else that's ready to go on, there it is. That's what I'm talking about. And we pick up the skill, and we just keep it moving.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm all for building from the ground up, so if I want to be there, we're just starting. I know it's already, you know, the executive director's already out there working hard, and I just want to be there helping. That's all. I just want to help.
And, you know, I got to tell you something. And I'm not trying to scare nobody off telling you, you know, it's flat land, there ain't nothing out there, you know, all this stuff has to be built. I got to tell you something. For me, that's really the draw. I'm tired of these shiny buildings that I can't go stand on the corner no more. I'm tired of all this stuff that's built up in a way that I know ain't right. I'm tired of having to pay just to be alive. Right?
Exactly.
And I want to spend at least one day in my life living or dying based on my efforts. And so with that in mind, I can't wait to be a pioneer. I've always had a pioneering spirit. I'm ready to go there. I'm ready to put in the work and build it the way that we need to build it. I'm ready to build a school for ours. I'm ready for that. We were built for this.
Quick question, Peter.
Yes.
Are you going to set up a solar system there to run the electric fence?
Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. Although, I will say, I saw this young, beautiful brother in Kenya, the kid's 13, 14 years old, and he built a system that electrified, well, he didn't electrify the fence. What he did was he built a system that turned LED lights on and off in random sequences. And based on that, all of the wildlife thought that there was a farmer walking past, and so they didn't go. And this young brother has wired up farms throughout Kenya. He's got like 12, 13 farms done. This young brother is just beautiful. I love it. And so we may just employ his skills and hire him to go on and do that on that property.
That could be used at nights, but you still have daytime to consider.
It's true.
So we can use the fence for the daytime, and at nights the LED light switches on.
It's true. And it's not much electricity to run that through the daytime. It's not actually going anywhere, right? It's a closed circuit. So it's really not that hard to do. And you're right, because I've had conversations with Robert, and he shows me pictures and just nonchalantly goes past the fact that there's wild animals in the picture. And I'm like, wait a sec. What is that? You know?
For him, that's natural.
It is natural. And I'm on some, wait a second, you just keep talking, what is that, right?
I met many Kenyans here in the U.S., and one thing that I recognized was some familiarity with them, and reason being they were colonized by the British, and me coming from a British Caribbean island, we felt a sort of kinship.
Yes.
So I just wanted to share that with those who are listening. Their second language besides whatever tribal language they would speak would be English.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have this neat British-type English accent.
And I got to tell you, on that line, when I speak to Robert, you would not believe that you were speaking to a farmer in the middle of Kenya. In fact, you would think he was a multiple PhD holder with the highest level of academic accolades you could imagine. The level of his conversation makes me feel like an idiot. I'm telling you, this brother is brilliant. And I'm saying, well, this is a farmer. This is a farmer out here. Whoa. Yeah, so you can clearly see that. I can clearly see exactly what you're saying, Brother David.
Yeah, they're nice people to be around.
Oh, the heart on this man, the manner. Yeah, I would encourage any of you to reach out to him. Now, let the man work. He got work, and he is my peer. He is my African peer. So I hold his feet to the fire. I got him working.
I've been modeling with the thought that although you have someone that's taking control of things, what about the opportunity to place one of us alongside him as an intern, more or less, so that we can learn the process as well?
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. However, again, my concern is he has been born and raised in Kenya. What he's doing right now is not new to him, right?
Okay.
The conditions that he's living in right now, that's not new to him. If any of one of you, and maybe not you so much, David, but if anyone else who has not ever lived in Africa were to, I wouldn't send you there, without, maybe it makes some sense for people to go for maybe a week and kind of experience it versus, kind of pack up your stuff for an extended period of time to, and that's kind of hard because the flight over there is 24 hours. That's a long flight. That's a 24-hour flight. So to do that and turn around and come back in a week is crazy.
They go through London?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
So it's a rough flight, but again, I'm reluctant to send anybody over there when there isn't facility. I know what he's living in right now, and I'm sending personal dollars over.
Has left the meeting.
To do something about that. For him, it's perfectly normal. For me, looking at it, I'm like, no, man, I can't have you. No. So I personally, my wife personally, we're sending money over to make sure that he has some basic things,
Okay.
I'd be reluctant to send anybody in that condition. We're gonna get some housing set up. We're gonna get something set up so that we can, in fact, send someone over. And there's some, we're not gonna recreate America in Africa. That's the last thing I'm gonna do, right? But you're gonna want a roof, right? There's certain things that you've become accustomed to that you're gonna want, and I'm gonna try to make sure that those are there,
Okay.
So we've actually, and I know each and every one of y'all know it, and you just fronting. We done went 37 minutes over how long we were supposed to. But guess what? It has been my joy and pleasure, really, to spend this time and kind of answer these questions. I know that there's a lot more questions, and everybody didn't get a chance to speak. But I will say you all are now familiar with the interface and how to get in and these kinds of things. We're going to do this meeting again next week. I'm going to share this recording in the room. You're going to have more questions next week, and I encourage you to come in and ask those questions. Now, remember, all non-legends, the way that anybody became a legend, everybody that is currently called a legend in the group has done three things. They have sent in their NDA, the signed NDA, they've sent in the signed pledge, and they've sent in $400 donation. Each and every member has done that. And guess what? We built a lake built on that donation. We built the fencing built on that donation. We've purchased the land. We've gotten the license to grow hemp. We were able to petition them for the 26,000 acres. Everything that we've done has been done based on that $400 donation. We've done this. Cooperatively, we have done this. So when people say that Africans can't come together and do anything, that's bullshit. We just built a lake. We just did that. So it's important, right? It's important that everybody put skin in. And the more of us that do, the closer we get to the inevitable goal. Right? So
hi, Peter. This is Felicia.
How you doing, sister? Felicia whom?
Jernigan.
All right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I just have one question. I don't know if you asked it.
Has left the meeting.
If you answered it already, but the $25 you'd like everyone to send? Did you go over that?
The tractor. Yes. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Can we a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Basically, what that is just in the truth. You can keep it 100. It is a test to see who's real. Look, if we are all out on the internet complaining about the condition, and we're watching our children treated callously, and we're watching the lack of control over our own lives and our futures and the generations of our children, is it worth $20 to see whether or not we might be able to get together and build something out? And that is the logic behind the tractor. Put $20 with mine. Put $20 with 3,500 other people. And let's see what we can build that will last forever. And that's what the logic is. That's what the logic is as it relates to the $20 for the tractor. Now, when we get over there, and when everybody's got land, guess what? We're going to need that horse to keep running. We need that tractor to keep working. We're going to be making residual income from our crops. They're going to be moving, they're going to be working. At the end of everybody's harvest, everybody needs to kick in to make sure that we can keep our horse running. That make sense?
Oh, yes. And we just go ahead and send it to where?
You can send it directly to the Ledge PayPal. Make sure anytime you send any money in, you put a note to make it clear as to what it is. Oh, the accounting is crazy. So if you put a note, we'll know. I'll be able to account for it at the end of the year and at every time. So the Ledge PayPal is the way to go.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Now, my beloved, I've got to jump off the phone. We got another. Are you ready for this? I told you. I got 2 more meetings that I'm
Felicia has left the meeting.
And so I don't start working. I'll be in those other 2 meetings. We're going to push forward this initiative, and we're going to get to the place that we have defined, if for no other reason, because there are so many individuals focused on one thing.
Has left the meeting.
So thank you for joining. We're going to share.
Bye, Peter.
We're going to do it again next week. Y'all join me.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Mother. Peace.
Has left the meeting. Has left the meeting.
Jeanette.